Welcome to the presentation on Step 5, Implementing Your Curriculum. Just a quick review. You've completed Step 1, where you identified the problem and completed a general needs assessment. In Step 2, you identified your targeted audience and their needs. In Step 3, you identified your goals and objectives for your curriculum. In Step 4, you identified the educational strategies necessary to meet the goals and objectives from Step 3. In Step 5, you will be identifying everything that you need to implement your curriculum successfully. In implementation, we identify sufficient resources, support, and others necessary to successfully implement the curriculum. And to do this, we have to refer to goals and objectives from Step 3 and the educational strategies that we identified in Step 4. There are 6 components to implementation. First is obtaining the political support necessary to implement your curriculum. Many of you have already done that prior to starting your curriculum. Then you need to identify and procure resources. By resources, I'm referring to people, to things, to money. So, will you need faculty to deliver this curriculum? If so, go to HR and find out what will this cost, because you have to figure out the cost associated with every resource that you need. Will you need to set up labs, for example? Will you need space? Will you need equipment? Identify everything you need and plan out how you will procure your resources. And before you can successfully implement the curriculum, you need to have already procured everything you need. You need to identify and address any barriers that may exist to keeping you from successfully implementing the curriculum. Next, what we will do is implement the curriculum with a small group of your target population, and this will allow you to fix the curriculum. You pilot it and you fix. You need to administer the curriculum, identify who will be responsible for this. And then how will we be refining the curriculum? The top 3 items get you ready to implement. The bottom 3 get you to implement the curriculum with a small pilot group and refine as you go. What do you need to implement your curriculum? Review steps 3 and 4 and create a table containing each of those items. You can add one column for implementation and a column for associated costs. And here's an example of a table. You would add your goal, you would add objective number 1, and then add into the column anything you need for implementing this particular objective. What are resources, support that you need to successfully implement it, and then any associated cost. Include any and everything you need, down to the last piece of software, the last paperclip. Once you have done this, please contact me to arrange a video conference where we can discuss your implementation. And that's it for Step 5, Implementing Your Curriculum.